All right, so we're back up here with our oxygen evolving complex where light energy came in and some of it was used to split that water apart during photolysis. And, we have these protons right here. And let's talk about what's going to happen with those protons. All right. So we're building up protons from each molecule of water split. We get 2 out. And we're actually getting ready to build a battery. And just as in any battery, it's basically a separation of charges. So you'll see that we have positive protons, and we're just going to keep building that charge. How we're going to do that is during this electron transport chain, we're going to use some of the electron's energy to help build a gradient. All right, so remember the stroma. The stroma is an aqueous solution, which means it has HOH, or water. And water is a fantastic molecule. It does some really crazy stuff. One of the things that it does, because oxygen is so electronegative, is it will temporarily hold on to the hydrogen's electron, and so you'll get the molecule temporarily existing as a proton and a hydroxyl. When that happens, plastiquinone is going to be able to pull that proton down because it's slightly negatively charged when it's holding on to its electron. It is going to pull it down and pass it to the cytochrome B6F, where it gets pumped across that membrane. So it actually requires a little bit of energy, and that energy is coming from that energized electron that's being passed through that electron transport chain. So this is happening during the non-cyclic portion of this process and the cyclic portion of this process. And this is why we think that both cycles exist, both the non-cyclic and the cyclic photophosphorylation exist, is to really get protons pumped across that membrane. All right, so we're building protons in this lumen space so that at some point it becomes relatively acidic compared to the outside area, which becomes relatively basic. Okay. And so we now have a battery, right? We've got a slightly acidic pH here and a slightly basic pH on the outside. And now what we're going to do is use the battery that we just built by pumping protons across the membrane to run photophosphorylation.